Today we're going to be talking about and reviewing the Flashback 4 Classic Game Console. It's actually made by Atari, which is kind of nice. Now, I don't know if you've seen other plug-in to and plays, but this is kind of the same idea. It is a system, has, where is it? It's like 70 something. Yeah, 75 built-in games on here, and usually I don't touch in these plug-and plays, but honestly, one of my favorite channels, they always talk about Ataris and how awesome they are, and I kind of wanted to try it. It's a little bit before my time. So first I'm going to show you this side of the box, this side of the box, this side, that. Then I'm going to show the back here. It shows all the different games you get in it. Now I picked this up for only $25 off of Kijiji actually. But yeah. So when you open it up, that's where your game would have sat. Mine just had the game system, nothing else really in there when I got mine. So let's sit this down over here and get into the console itself. Now, the console, if you look here, the 2600 controllers will work with it. You can just plug them in. However, it does come with two nice controllers. So you can play two-player. One player is the one with the more elaborate buttons. Two-player has less buttons. They are infrared, so you do got to point them reasonably at the television. I mean, I've actually played around with it, and it's pretty good for infrared, given the fact that I've had them like diagonal and they still work. Less responsive that way, but it still works. If you have it directly on it, it will, of course, be better with the connection. Now you have your buttons. Big red one's the on. As you can see, we have it on right now. We have the second button here, which is start. I hear sounds, but I don't see anything happening. I don't know why it's there. Left, right, and select. Oh, okay, so I can basically use this like a controller. Nice to know. So, I'm sure there's one to go back to main menu on here. This is on the controller, I know. So there's a little on and off switch on the controller here. Just turn it on. And of course it takes AAA for some reason. You have to screw it in, so gotta make sure you have a screwdriver and you have the nice little nubbies here, so if you're playing it on a table it's all good. Here we have the start, select, and reset right here on the controller. So I can go and hit this. I'm back at menu. Woohoo! Let's not play tic-tac-toe. Let's see. Let me point this directly at the console here. It's kind of blurry on the big screen. And by the way, the output is AV mono. If you're interested. Let's, yeah, okay, let's do breakout. Probably gonna suck, but let's go. Start, select, what do I, let me play. It's flashing colors and I'm hitting start and select. You know what? Let's not play that. Let's play Centipede. Yeah. Nice rapid fire, just hold down the button. No, die. Dead. So, I had only heard about these games and played like the redone kind of versions that they put on the computer for the younger crowd, and never gotten to really play these before I picked up one of these. And picking up a working Atari is pretty expensive. I mean, I can remember them chilling out in Value Village when I was a kid, but nowadays it's kind of pretty close to impossible to pick one up. And let's play some... Oh, cool. It can show me what I was doing. Let's reset. Combat 2, some... Where's Space Invaders go? I want to play that. I want Frogger, Gravity Golf, Frontline. Oh, it's actually going alphabetical? Okay. Let's see. Space Invaders. There we go. Let's play some awesome Space Invaders. And actually, the sound's pretty good, so let's turn that up a bit, just because I want you to hear this. Oh, I hit reset. My bad. I guess that's kind of not a good thing about this controller, because when it's facing you, you can accidentally hit the reset button. Like I just did, like a derp. Now, I know you can pick this up on, say, Xbox 360, and for a while it was ridiculously expensive. I gotta say, it was really just worth it to pick up something like this. When it comes to the plug-and-play series for like other Ataris, a lot of times the controller I'm holding, it'll just be like that. Then it has the AV adapters on it. From there, you would plug it into your television and it'll have one game. The controller is usually designed to specifically go with the game that is on that particular joystick. And to put it in comparison to us 90s kids, or at least people who grew up in the 90s, not necessarily born in the 90s, but it's kind of like how if you didn't have enough money, you would pick up a Tiger game, because that was a handheld game, even though you knew it sucked and it wasn't that great. These might possibly have some quality games, like they did take some of the good ones, but it's one game. You're plugging it in, and from what I've heard from kids, it's not the greatest thing ever. I never touched one of those because, why? I have all the systems. This one makes a little bit more sense. It has 75 in one. So, I mean, it's not one game. You're not paying, I think it's like 40. Oh, why is my controller going crazy? $40 for like one game. And yeah, sure, has a cool controller. And if it worked with an old Atari, that'd be really neat. But it doesn't. So, all the information for the game's held in there. And at Christmas time, you will see them all over whatever department store you go to. It's going to be all in the kids section on the end caps. And they're all like, you should totally buy me. And I don't think anyone does. I mean, there's probably some grandparents or someone that has no idea about video games is like, oh yeah, sure, a kid would love this, and they get it as a gift, and you're just WTF. That is really all the kid's going to say if you get them that. This, on the other hand, has more games to play, definitely more money. I wish, like the Sega one that's redone, where it has built-in games, that this one had a slot to play Atari games. Then whatever Atari game that's not on here, I could pick it up and then try out that game. But this one is completely encased in itself. You can only play what's built in on it. There is others before this one, obviously, since this is Flashback 4. Flashback, it's either 2 or 3. Looks really nice, but when it comes to someone who's more interested in the original one, this one's excellent because it's got that fake wood on it, not to mention the fact that you can use your old controllers on it. I honestly need to pick up an Atari controller to test out how that actually, if it's good, or if honestly the system's like, nope, not listening. I doubt it. Okay, I'm doing great, but let's play something else that's on here. I'm gonna... Come on, reset. Let's play... Oh, I hate this game. This makes no sense, this game. Let's try this one. Some of these games, I think because I'm not born of the time, I'm really struggling to get the understanding of what I'm supposed to do. It just... I don't really understand what you want me to do in the game. Alright, like Wizard here. Let's see if I can get to start though. Okay, I'm moving around. I'm throwing balls. Now, do I want to go over to this thing here? Or is that bad? Like, I hear sound effects. I don't really see anything going on. But, I just don't get it. What am I supposed to do? So, let's reset because I'm not really understanding. What else was there on here? There's some... You can also do 2-player with this too, but since 2-player is actually the cameraman, I don't think we're going to get to that in this review. There is several different ones, and if you look, multiplayer game. So you'll know which ones as you're scrolling through, because you have your information here about the game itself. You got a little image there in case you know nothing of the box art, like me, and you don't really know all the games. You got the little picture here, because chances are you'll recognize that. Not facing the infrared again, so it just wasn't listening. I've seen worse. It's definitely, like, for infrared, it still works pretty good, but it's infrared, so that's not saying much. Now, if we go back to the system itself, and we look at the back, right here is where the AV goes in. Right here's the power cord. Of course, being in North America, I just have the typical 2-prong. Down here, we got the Atari symbol, flashback for classic game, and it gives us manufacturing information here on the back. They also have the nice little rubber things so that your game system doesn't decide to go crazy and skid all over the place. Receiver for your infrared, and that's pretty much the Atari 4 flashback. Now, do I recommend getting it? If where you are, there's not too much Ataris to pick up, and it's really difficult to get one, yet you want to try these games, you want it in an Atari format, and you still want to know what it is, I do suggest it. It has 75 games in one, so you don't really have to worry about picking up a bunch of cartridges and stuff with it. Honestly, it's easier to pick up in television? No. Yes. That console's easier to pick up in the city than Atari. So it's just easier to pick up a flashback for a gaming console. You get 2 controllers, so if you do have kids or you have a his and her gaming setup, it's great because you both can play. You know, one person's 1-player, one person's 2-player. And there's several 2-player games. I mean, this one's single-player, shooting, it says right there. So you'll definitely know when those games are happening. Oh, and I should turn this off. Don't forget to turn these off. These go off and on. They don't automatically turn off like your Xbox controllers. That's the Atari 4 review classic game console. I suggest it for people like me who have trouble getting the original game console and still honestly have no idea what you're talking about when you talk about the original game. I want to know, but it's before my time. So, I mean, I was NES, really, and up. So, everything before that, kind of a blur. Anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and also you can watch us on Twitch, which is Roadkill Candy instead of Queen Roadkill. Thank you and have a great day, YouTubers.